Well, hello. Welcome to everyone out there. I forgot my mic, but I'll try to talk loud enough for you all to hear. I have something kind of important to put out here. This will be American Reversion Evening Edition. You know it's evening edition because I'm using the same cup, but instead of coffee, it is wild turkey on the rocks with a little bit of water because I like that taste better. Just doing some work, and all of a sudden something pops up. Representative Matt Gaetz, representative out of Florida, has entered the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop into the congressional record. I'm going to read just a little. That is important. That is, there's going to be some sleepless nights in the Biden household tonight. The story comes out of the Liberty Daily. It's written by J.D. Rucker, and I'm going to read just a little bit of this, but the more important thing, I'm gonna post this over on the Patreon channel, so that you all can watch the video. There's two videos here embedded in the article that are that show exactly what we're going to talk about here, and it is nice to watch. If you aren't with us over on Patreon yet, I'll put the link down here. It's always down here in the information portion, and just hit that link, come over and join us on Patreon. Somebody put in a comment, I'll say this before I read this article or talk about it. Somebody asked, says, I wanted to come join you on Patreon, but it says that it's $211 to join. That can't be right, can it? No, it can't. And they said, if you get this fixed, I want to join the Patreon. Well, it's they've landed on a page. If you go to anyone's Patreon channel, it'll show how many people are currently patrons, and then it shows how much that channel is bringing in per month. Okay, and I believe we're at either 98 or 99 patrons right now, and that is really great. I mean, for as young as this channel is, for it to have that many is exceptional. And we are currently, I believe, I checked when they said that, and so I checked, and it looks like the channel is now bringing in $211 per month, and so that's where they saw that it doesn't cost $211 a month to be it. It costs you $1. And because there's 98 or 99 and there's 211, that's because some people pledge more than the dollar. But you can pledge whatever you want, but it's only costs $1. And I put a lot of stuff up over there. I put everything up over there. I know I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to give you a sales pitch here, but it is a good deal. And if you're interested in this stuff and more, you really want to be over there on Patreon, because I don't just put the stuff that I put on YouTube. I put a lot of other stuff too. So anyway, I'm going to read this. So if we'd love to have you there. I'll start the headline here, and then I'll read a little bit. It says, subpoena Hunter Biden. Representative Matt Gaetz, he's out of Florida, I think I said. Boy, they got some good people down in Florida, don't they? He's a bulldog. So he has entered the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop into the congressional record. Here is the body of the story written by J.D. Rucker. I probably won't read it all, just a little bit to give you the basics, and you can read it over there. Congressman Matt Gaetz was able to have the contents of Hunter Biden's infamous laptop added to the congressional record, though not without a fight with the FBI and congressional Democrats. That's the truth. I watched the videos, and man, he tore into that FBI assistant director in charge of cyber, and that FBI guy, you talk about a smug little twit. It make you sick. It makes a real cop sick, and I used to be a real cop. Says, on the surface, this is a symbolic move that drives House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler crazy, along with the Democrats across Capitol Hill and throughout the White House. In reality, however, this is a major move that opens the door for congressional investigation into both Hunter Biden and his father, Big Joe. Okay. The tweet from I was still thinking about the FBI guy. The tweet from Matt Gaetz. Excuse me. I have the reason that I like to have frog in my throat so I can clear it with my turkey. Gobble, gobble. So Matt Gaetz tweeted moments ago, I successfully entered the hard drive of Hunter Biden's laptop into the congressional record. And you got to see the questioning he had of that FBI guy. It goes on. He didn't get it in his first attempt because Nadler initially objected following a tense back and forth between Gaetz and Assistant Director of FBI Cybersecurity Brian A. Vorndran. The witness refused to answer questions regarding the laptop, claiming he didn't know where the laptop was, who had it, and if it had information that posted a cybersecurity that I think they said posted, they meant posed, a cybersecurity threat to the United States. It was a fantastic Sergeant Schultz impersonation. You guys, for you who are old enough to remember Hogan's Heroes with Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing, I know nothing. That's kind of big. That's the Democrat war cry, isn't it? The original request by Representative Gaetz was rejected by Nadler, but Gaetz pressed even as Democrat congressman. It just goes on how Gaetz won. The reason this is important, and this is what I want to get to. These aren't my words. I'm still reading J.D. Rucker. The reason this is important, even though the contents of the laptop are confirmed and have been made public, is because being in the congressional record obligates Congress to act on anything unlawful that is found in it. And if you know anything about what is probably in there, I'm sure they're not sleeping well tonight. Democrats will stall for as long as possible, but if Republicans take back control of the House of Representatives following the midterm elections, this will streamline any investigations that could come from the laptop against Hunter Biden, his family, his accomplices, and even his father. This is a huge development that will be completely ignored by corporate media. It has been months, and I think it's been like somebody counted. How many days has it been since Hunter Biden was mentioned on any of the big networks? It's like 200 and some days, right? And they're still talking about Trump. Well, now, what will happen with this? It says that following the midterm elections, if the Republicans take it back, this is going to streamline investigations into that, including Big Joe. Here's what's necessary for that. Why do the things brought up by Democrats work? Why are they able to push their agenda? I'll take a sip while you all think. Because, for those of you who are still scratching your heads, because all of their little minions out here in the world are just raising holy Cain about it all the time, right? Why do things die away when the Republicans get their teeth into something? Because everybody out here, or too many out here, just sit back and say, so now justice is going to be done. Justice is never done unless there's a big voice behind somebody urging them on. If the Republicans take the House and the Senate, and they should take both with no problem, okay, but never underestimate the weakness of the Republicans. If they take it back, they can go after this stuff, but they won't. They'll go after it a little bit. They'll go after it just enough to get on the news every night so that their people, their constituents back home will say, oh, that's my congressman. That's him. I like him. He's doing the Lord's work, and he's got my vote. Good for him. I knew that he would do this. I knew that he'd go into it if we just reelected him or elected him. And then, of course, as the thing kind of fizzles out, because everybody who was saying, that's my congressman, go get him, Bulldog, they think that the fight's over. So they go back to their picnics and their football games and their whatever. They don't stay on top of it. And so Mr. Bulldog Congressman knows that he's got his reelection locked up. He's got all of these video things that he can put in his next campaign ads, and he's got it locked so he doesn't have to do it. So as it kind of winds down, and they go to parties with each other, and they say, okay, we've got it done. Let's do. There's no real reason to, to cause the president this kind of embarrassment. I mean, the Democrats always want to cause embarrassment for the Republican president, and half the Republican Party wanted to for this last one for President Trump, didn't they? But they'll talk these weak-kneed little milquetoast Republicans into saying, well, okay, I guess we've got it on the record. Everybody knows it's old news now. We'll do a couple of things. What we'll do is we'll put out a statement how we fully investigated this and we've taken the steps so that this will never happen again. You see, the thing between a real investigation and a cover-up is that when you really investigate something, I know I keep doing that, and I put my hand in front of my mouth like I'm in prison, like I don't want the screws to see what I'm saying, right? A real investigation, it culminates with a finding, and then it's prosecuted. See, we don't reach the end of an investigation for a murder or a rape or a robbery or anything like that and then go, okay, we've seen what happened here. Now let's change some policies, or let's put in another law so that this never happens again. No, that's what you do with a cover-up. With an investigation, you go after, you investigate, you present the evidence, you prosecute, and if you can make your case, you find them guilty, and then sentencing, right? That's right, for punishment, right? Yeah. Well, they're not going to do it unless the people out here, that's you and I, unless we make the noise that makes them do it. This is where the other side is so much smarter, stronger, and more dedicated than we are. We may think that we're dedicated, and there are some who are. Okay, I have to admit that I rarely shut up. But I won't say most, too many of our people are not. And that's what causes our side to lose. It's not the other side. The other side should always be expected to do their best to attack us and to promote, their own side. It's just like when you're on the field. Okay, the defense of the other team is always going to try to stop you. That's their job. That's what they're going to do. You don't give up. Okay. If you lose the game because your offense didn't show up, whose fault is the loss? The team whose offense did not do what they should have done. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say this evening. This has the potential to go a long ways, but it won't unless we're loud about it and consistent about it and keep it going. And the way that we do that is we get this out there, we talk about it to each other, to our friends, but also we talk about it to people beyond our personal sphere. And if you have to, if you have the ability, the talent to act, to act like you're very incensed, which you ought to be anyway, but oh my gosh, if you can present this, I can't believe what's happening here. Something should be done, shouldn't it? You will be able to sway a lot of people out there. And it's only because Congress critters, who says it? I didn't make that up. Somebody else did, and I think it was great. Congress critters always respond to pressure, and that's about all they respond to. We have to pressure them. That's what this channel's about. That's what we should be about. And that's why I say that America needs a reversion, and it needs you to be a part of it. It needs you to spread this to other people. So please do. please send this to your friends. Ask them to subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed, if you would. Give thumbs up. We need all the help we can get for that magic algorithm, to get us elevated and get this out. I know that the message that I put out is not going to be a favorite for this platform. But as long as I stay within the lines and as long as there is activity on this channel, that's what will drive it. So it's up to you, really. I'm just sitting here talking and spewing my opinions, but it's really up to you to spread this around. So will you do that? I appreciate it. Have a good evening. I'll let you go. Think about this. Tell a couple of friends about this. See if you can tell a few friends about this just in the next couple of hours, in the next 24 hours. See how many people you can get this out there. And we will talk to you later.